Collective energy reading. Please only take what resonates. Always leave the rest for the best. Don't stress. Because it's you, high learning. That's what we've got to do. Someone could be shape-shifting, transforming. It's that unveiling your gifts, spiritual gifts. Someone could be having that kundalini arising. They're connecting to that higher mind, that higher thought. That's when you're releasing and releasing that love, that passion. This could be your soulmate. They could be intertwining and feeling I'm feeling this passion within inside of me, these emotions. This could be this masculine, feminine energy. They could be being wise now. They could be seeing you was loyal, creative. They could be having that creative skill, connecting, feeling that love, using that intuition. That's their feelings, what they're feeling within inside. They could be going towards that progress, releasing stress, heartache, pain. They could be single, situation single. You could be single, temporary. That's that loneliness, and you're choosing that solitude. That's when you have to look at your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, what you need. You have to care for yourself, your needs when you're not feeling too well and you're having stress and conflict and you're feeling that you may need to seek advice, help, support. You're going towards that victory, progress, because that's communication, effective communication with the spiritual guides, your ancestors, that's within inside of yourself. That's when you're having that awakening, being original, your true authentic self. People have got a social awareness of you, seeing you out in public. That's you using your imaginations. That's you standing your true, authentic, independent self. That's you and oozing your strongness. That's that key. It's loving in the relationship. Someone could be seeing you as a part of that loving relationship. That twin flame, 111, that balance, that duality, the black to the white. You could have been awakening them. That's that feelings. It's opening. It's honest. They could be looking for Malakuk. That's having that strength. It's resilience through heartache, hurt and pain. When you're about to encompass emotions, that's when you get Matthews. Your kingdom comes. You will be done on earth as it is in heaven. When you're looking at your mind, and that's that internal heaven within your mind, that earth is those emotions connecting to that heart. That's letting you know those personal experiences. Whatever occurs in your mind, it influences that feel in that heart. People are feeling these things. They may want to tell you about these illusions, about certain people confusing them. That's that movement now. They can see the boundaries, the blocks, the emotions, certain habits. That's like they wasn't using the intuitions. They maybe wanted to be able to step forward boldly today and act on an idea without even over-analysing because they was too conflicted, critically thinking, anxious. That could be about this marriage, or even soul is a union. That too, divine, the way I am and I feel, because they're connecting in that higher clarity. Take this all as it resonates. We took some cards out. So we'll just see, because these was the last ones in the bag for the small ones what I wrote, so we've added more. It says spinning the block. Oh my gosh, they needed to spin back. So they're spinning that block. They need to spin back. They want to communicate. Because it's when, that's what I heard in my head. When will I see you again? So they're coming back. This could be somebody old, some old school lover. And they want to be able to come now because I'm undercover Freddy. So there was that undercover Freddy, shapeshifter. They're healing, they're having that kundalini awakening now. They was transforming, shape-shifting, two-faced. They were acted one way in public, acted another way behind closed doors. Now they're connecting because that's opening, healing, that's information. They want to be able to come towards you and let you know I'm unveiling these feelings, these emotions, transforming the way I acted, letting go of that ego, that pride, that aggression. You're the one who's opened up my heart. You're the one who's made me have to look and gain that strength. You're the one who's made me have to look at these illusions, the confusions, the diversions. And that was because of all those obsessions and all the manipulations that they put, not connecting to their emotions. And now they're getting beneath those layers of those emotions of trauma. It's unresolved feelings, and it's that lack. They had that lack self-awareness to not connect to their emotions, listen to their intuitions. They was doing too many obstacles, and it was obscure, and they was doing these things for desires. I hate these pills. I got to work. I can't even think divine masculine's going to leave me. I'm not that bad, right? I just need some time. So they hate those pills. They didn't want to be able to connect, to be able to take that transformation, to get balance emotionally, mentally. They didn't want people to leave them, a feminine that could have been around them. They was having this relationship. They could be having stress, getting this progress, gaining information about the feminine. They need healing. They lack balance structures. They wanted stability. They need that support because they was insecure. I swear down, nobody, backside, proper, karma, or lady, just got luck, magic. This would not happen in those powers were working. So they can say this was not happening. Certain people try to block you if those powers weren't working. They was insecure, detached from their emotions. Why are you using your intelligence? Why weren't your creative skills? Why didn't you have that hard work, what you was putting in? Why didn't it work? What was they doing towards you? People could have been blocking you, lying, speaking, feminine energy, being stubborn, think they was trying to be controlling your masculine. Now they're anxious because they're critically thinking, why didn't it work? That spell work. 8, they was driven through idealistic approaches. Do not, divine masculine, not going to be suspicious of anything I do now, because he going to think because of the baby. So they could have tried to have extra energies, child, and possess for a child, feminine, mother, caring, nurturing. 8, block them. I don't like the meds. I can't afford to be tired. 16 hours out of this day. Got lots. I got it under control. So they can't afford to be tired. 16 hours in this day. 16, they're having a tower moment. Confusions, illusions. This could be the shapeshifter. That's because they can see you're going towards its success. Certain people are coming and getting highlighted. Certain people's moving in that animal spirit. That's when you're not connecting. Idolizing people in the community who you work alongside with, partners, the choices, the people that you pick up. That's like that loving relationships. And you have to see that's that bridge, because when certain people trying to hold power over you and dominance, ambitions over resources for job, working, it's a deep part. It's that core part. You have to connect about this family. It's healing those responsibilities when you're creating. Who was you harmonizing with? Because that's that day-to-day working conditions in your environment. They could be seeing social awareness of you, computer, and that's looking about your duty, even health, because they could see they was moving like Freddy Krueger undercover, aggressive, controlling, Wheel of Fortune. That's that 10. That's when you see insecure. They could see you're steadfast, organized. They was trying to be controlling, putting hard work in. You can see that was that change. You was that part of destiny. It was a part of that Wheel of Fortune when you got to have a look, that cosmos, encompass, stability, harmony, nurture yourself. Certain people's trying to be controlling, stubborn, possessing, direct with their ego. They've got to look now, because you have to start looking back to that mindset. When you look in your structures, this masculine, feminine, are you holding yourself in public? Habits, use your intuitions. Was you connected to those emotions? Because it's that deep, most private part of yourself. End karmic cycles. That's when you was having this insecurity. You didn't have that discipline. That's about your ego, your pride, aggressive, controlling energy. Running towards that 10. 6 of Cups, that connection, having anxiety. That's when you wasn't spiritually, emotionally connected about the choices that you was making. Who was caring, who was providing. Did you have boundaries in place? 9, because certain people was having blocks for appreciation, so you wasn't able to move forward. Because I swear down, no backside, proper, karma, or lady. Just that look, magic. This would not happen. That Wheel of Fortune, this 2 of Pentacles for you to grow and be balanced, stable. When certain people's trying to block you, no starts itching. You was adaptable. You was mental, emotional, spiritually connected. They didn't see what you valued. They can see now you're getting this material. That's the aspects of yourself. Stable. They was in that material aspect to their mind. You was grounded, down to earth. Taurus, that's a part of that Taurus field. That's when you see that earth in itself and it's green. And you're looking at that heart and the algorithm with earth. You stay balanced and connected. You seen like further illustrations. It was profound emotions, what was inside of you. You had to look at that connection, because that was between your heart and that earth. It was highlighting that energy. It was sustaining, energizing your heart, supporting you and your entire being to continue to keep on moving forward. That's when you have to be gentle, caring, providing that support. Mother figure, that's you, nurturing yourself. That's where you providing that energy. That was restorative food. 12, balanced. That's when you was temperaments. You have this temperaments, this divine masculine, feminine. They maybe want to be able to look now. Their attitude, their approach. I am, the way I acted. I'm feeling. Now I am. I'm seeing you as that sun. They're gaining that high clarity. Connecting to their heart and their emotions. Because that's that emotion, that deep inner side, karma from family. They can see family back, 10. Ancestral, that's that I see, that bottom. When you're looking at the sky and you start seeing the willpower that certain people's putting in. Unhealed. There's unhealed patterns. And now they're adapting, transforming, changing, gaining that strength to nurture themselves, have that love and compassion, values, what you're valuing, partners, relationship. Because divine masculine, they're not going to be suspicious anything I do now, because it's going to think because of the baby. So they was trying to block for pregnancy for a baby. Oh, truth be told. Truth be told about this earth sign Taurus, trying to hold on, possessing, mother figure, steadfast, insecure, child, Libra, 11, flight and detached, because the insecurities, they didn't have that grounded. Truth be told, you'd be speaking about this. Now they can see it's out in the open. I don't like the meds. I can't afford to be tired 16 hours. They're having that tower moment. Truth be told, they're having a tower moment because of their ego. Their mindset was driven through money, extra energies, tried to hold on. Tower moment. 10 of Cups. Now they're having that ending to that karmic cycle because they're connecting to their heart, their emotions. They can see that this feminine energy, truth is that they was trying to use their hidden skills to block them because there was insecurities, that masculine was going to leave. There was that 12, that karmic cycle. That was all because of their mindset. They had these hidden skills trying to block. They didn't see you had these hidden skills. You was balanced, you was creative. They thought they was being creative, lying. You was speaking this truth. They thought they was going towards these new beginnings. They was doing it in an aggressive way to block your mind. The masculine said there wasn't having no thought. So they could keep moving forward, taking control, thinking about what there was growing about this baby. There was illusions and confusions. You could be hearing about this. If we send out positive energy, then someone will lead. So you have to send out that positive energy, love, compassion. You're seeing people's competitive against you because you was inspiring. Got to be your own hero. So you have to be your own hero. You have to stay steadfast, organized. You have to stand in your true original self. Gain discipline. Look at your structures, because I am, and I feel, and I'm growing. I'm evolving. And they was in Saturn. Now they're returning that energy back to them because they wasn't grounding. Now they can see. That's when you have to look back to the mysteries of your story. That's you looking back to where, to whys, to what's, to when's, those difficult experiences, what you've gone through. That's when you've had to see, heal yourself, cleanse yourself from those emotions, gain high clarity, start speaking about these family members and friends that tried to block you, and you had to encompass all these emotions. And I've had to start evolving because I got awakening and had to listen to myself, and that was me going towards this freedom. Now this masculine wants to go to that freedom because they're balancing that emotions. They maybe want to be able to come now, offer you material, wealth, jobs, new career, that life. You're moving with that new career, that life you're balancing. And they can see that practical, you're stable. Now they may see that you're reliable and you're adapting. That's the truth. Things ain't going how things should because they're having a tower moment and it's all on them. Saddest moment, my auntie passing. She was amazing. So you can see a family member could have passed away. That could have been the saddest moment. 10, that ending. That was a family member deep. She could have been great. She was balanced, spoke the truth, stood in her power, social awareness, eccentric, backfired, spiritual dis-ease, bad health. So now it's backfired, spiritual dis-ease, bad health. Now they're in their heart, their mind, their emotions, their thought. They wasn't using their intuitions because they was being stubborn. They wasn't grounded. 12 karmic cycles. Could be mind factors, problems. That's the truth. Low with them, the ghost. So you just laugh with them, the ghost, because the spiritual guides, your ancestors, they led you, they showed you the truth. Because you connected, earthly, grounded, Ace of Swords, divinely guided. Spirit gave you that truth to speak about these family members and friends. When they thought they was being smart, you're an empress. They gave you that balance, the mind and the thoughts and feelings interconnected with that divine, that I, you had that all-knowing, because the earth's school, earthly interactions, and that was circumstances. When you was in the earth school around certain people, you had to connect to your heart because that was your heart and your emotions, and that was you connecting. Like It was a pump. It was going around. It was rational and it was rotational. It was analytical. You had to look at that consciousness because it gave you that awakening, that mental and intellectual aspects. You had to see that bridge because that was that equal role. It was crucial and it was shaping emotions. It was like fabric. Even that inner experience interplaying between the heart and the brain. It was highlighting deep connections between the mind and those emotions. You had that consciousness and you had to look at it traditionally, inner standing from the divine, because that was opportunities perfect for that spiritual growth. You're looking at that responsible for you, choices, responsible choices to be able to make positive changes. Accept the consequences. So now these family members and these friends, this feminine, this masculine, need to accept the consequences of the karmic cycle, lies, trying to block and delusionalize people, because the 7 heavens, the 7 layers, that firement, that's that 7th chakra of that discernment. Certain people are having illusions, psychological aspects of your mind. That's when you have to transform, change, pollute out. That's when you have to gain that power, your standing, your authority. Look at these people from the afterlife, your spiritual guides who's guiding you and giving you that information. You have to get spiritually, emotionally, mentally connected, because that's that deep interconnectedness of the emotional, the mystical, tranquil self. That's that peace. That's when you've got those close friends, families, enemies that are close towards you that you have to look back to. Identify as to where's to why, to what's to when, how you're growing. Because that's you, your starting position in the world. Your public legacy. People have got a social awareness of you. You're growing, you're stable, you're moving, and that's what's enabled you to pay your bills, because that's that firmament, solid dome, your mind, your wisdom. That's dividing that primal waters, those emotions, those thoughts, those feelings. Primal waters. That's into upper and lower aspects of those priorities of the firmament, in the midst of those waters, in the midst of those waters, those emotions. And that was you divinely in dividing those waters from those layers to the heaven, to the earth. So you divided those waters to the heaven, to the layers of the earth. You stayed grounded, spiritually grounded, connected and moved with love. Because there was no common ground. They had no common ground. They didn't find that middle alignment. No common ground, those family members and friends, those masculines, because they were shapeshifters. They're having that transformation. That's why they're all mixed up in their emotions, because the cards were sliding all over. They're trying to adapt. Because to be your own hero, you had to stand in your power. You had to feel, stand, love oneself, connect to your emotions and grow with Jupiter, because that was you having that love, and that was that dreamer, and it was naive. People thought it was naive, but it was courageous. It was an Aries that can see that inner child. People were spiritually, mentally, emotionally blocked because that head was in the clouds. You took your head out the clouds. You spoke that truth because you listened to the spirit. They was insecure. They was not steadfast. They didn't have to stay grounded. They was flight and detached from their emotions, because it backfired on them, its spiritual desires. Because that 6 of Swords, leaving behind and it moving forward now, because they're connecting, transforming, connecting to their heart, their emotions. That's when you have to use your powers. People try to possess on for money. You left people in their community who they was around, feminine energy, working with, creating with, talking with, walking with, socializing with, having extra energies and relationships with. Take this all as it resonates, because you see who was trying to hold power over you, dominate over your resources. Because that's when you got these healing responsibilities and people are lying and stressing in their mind, domestic bliss. And that's when you're looking what's attracting, because it's health and your day-to-day work approach, creativity, to be able to say, oh, I'm not going to see it's if divine masculine is suspicious for taking these tablets and this medication. People mentally and emotionally blocking you, trying to confuse you and delusion you for your works and your money, or because they had a social awareness of you, or because they could see how you looked and how you put your approach out there, because you was in that 6, caring, nurturing, balanced, stable, secure, adventurous, charming. Thought they was being creative, but weren't critically thinking when they was thought they was being practical, wasn't really actually being practical, because it was about money, material, possessions, practical, home, wealth, just for home and stability. Because now they're looking at these opportunities. It's for that spiritual growth. It's the truth. Things ain't going how things should. Now it's all on you. Those divine feminines and masculines. Because they're seeing judgment. It's that movement of us, people. They're seeing now those Judases, those family members and friends who they have these sexual relationships with that was blocking them. They're seeing that judgment about this child who was being a fool, judgment on this feminine energy who thought they was a high priestess, who was having these illusions. And now they're seeing their habits, judgment for those habits, for lying. Definitely lying. They was trying to possess certain things. They're having this awakening now. They seen these illusions because they're connecting to their heart. That's that Venus. They're moving with that Venus energy. I love. All of a sudden they're connecting. They're thinking, oh my gosh, I think. Oh my days, I'm feeling. All of a sudden, transforming their mind. That's that sudden awakening, a spiritual box from the Most High God. One bitch slapping their neck back. That's the truth. That Kundalini arising. That shape-shifting. Things ain't going now. Things should. Now it's all on you. Because that's the truth. No common ground. They didn't have no common ground. They want balance because they were trying to possess money. Controlling, wasn't critically thinking. Mentally and emotionally detached from the feelings. Committing sin. Didn't have self-respect and dignity. No common ground. Is it gone? No common ground. Burden, stress, anxiety, defeat. Now they're at that end. That's when you get defeated and you have to look back. Karmic cycle. Bam, all because of illusions and confusions. Oh, bam, all because of lust and greed. Oh, bam, now I'm looking back. Oh, now I'm looking at that higher clarity and looking at God within inside of me. Oh, now Dharma, karma, this King of Swords cups, all in my head. Now I'm thinking about you over and over and over again. Because you was a part of my legacy. You was that 10. Now they're looking at you. Oh, the girl, them a 10-10. 10-10. Stress and anxiety. They want to be able to come and speak this truth towards you because they can see you're that karmic energy now. They're connecting. The truth is they're connecting using intuitions. They was not, when they was around people, not speaking wise, and they wasn't thinking when they was talking bad about you. They were saying that you was not right and you was off your head and you was crazy. Whereas they needed to set their medication. They was around people. That's when they meet them up. That's when they pick and pick till you pick shit. Or when you're out socialising and partying, flighting, attached, extra energies. Think about who you're meeting when you're socialising with certain people, guys. Because God promises will be fulfilled. 2 that was united but was divided. Someone returning from there where they've been to be able to return towards you. That's that action. And bringing you that inheritance to you. And wanting an intangible inheritance. You're enabling them to have that ability to end these karmic cycles. Connect to your heart. Start getting and being a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. And you, you took me to the clouds above. Now I wake from dreaming. Now tell me, is it really love? Now they want to know. I want to know if you really love me. I say a prayer with every heartbeat. Whenever. So whenever you meet, they fall in love whenever you meet. So that's looking at to perform a role. That's being better, showing that growth, such as spiritual growth on that journey to develop. That's nurturing meaningful relationships. They're analysing and recognising that transcendence through those experiences, that heartache and pain. But you know everything's going to be alright because that's existing beyond those possibilities of that physical. Even looking at the realities now, because when you look at those emotions and you have to connect to your heart and you have to see who's being royal and loyal, you have to transform. You have to change clothes, your attitude, the holes and go. And that's when you have to get out of that shape-shifter energy, transform, change your clothes, the holes, leave the things behind. Those family members or friends, the karmic masculines, people who was blocking you, stopping you for your money and your vows and what you vowed and what they valued and what they was possessing and trying to control over you. You have to give yourself that love. Now they maybe want to be able to take this action now because they're regenerating, don't want to hate no more. Don't want to be a player no more. Because I found someone that I can live my life for. He says, I'm yours, you're mine for sure. Open your heart and let me undress you, babe. Now they want to say, open up your mind and let me undress you, babe. All you got to do is say yes. All you got to do is say yes. So all you got to do is say yes. Get the higher awaken and let me undress you, babe. Dress too. That's parasites, unprotected, ungrounded, opening or unguarded moment. They are the ungrounded, unprotected, unopening, guarded moment. Extra energy. Can I show you my love for you? All of a sudden, They want to come back and have that awakening, because that's like reckoning now, and it's that reconciliation, and it's that return. Can I show you my love? For you, it says name church roll not in the book of the Lamb of Life. So your name in the church roll is not in the book of that Lamb of Life. You stand up, you speak the truth, you stand in your power, you let these family members and friends know, yo, I'm out here serving justice, right? Stop being stubborn, stop trying to control over my mind, my thoughts, my feelings, my love, my relationship, me when I'm using my intuitions. You connect because you've got balance and you've got unity. You're practical, you're dependable, you're liable, you're enabling, you're helping, you're supporting, you're assisting, empowering people to be able to grow. You've got compassion, you're steadfast, you're eccentric, you're unique. You listen to that spirit within inside of you and move with love. You've got clarity of thought, you stand in your truth, and you're grounded. People are stressed and lying because you're speaking that truth and you're connected. You've got that interconnected to the divine. Worship God with lips, but not from their hearts. Unrepentance. Love, appearance of holiness, not the reality. Lie, going to church, don't mean you know God. Just because they go to church, don't lie and say that you know God, like you got that balance. They be lying. There was around people who could have says, oh yes, I'm that one and I'm very thinking I've got that connected to the divine. You're not connected to your own fucking heart, mind and body. There was shapeshifters out here in these streets. Don't let them NPCs fool you and grow you and their family members and friends, because you was in their life to beat them and teach them. They told you this from the beginning. In the beginning was the word. They didn't listen. The ancestors didn't listen to have that passion and use that strength of inside of you when people's trying to control you, your aspects of your mind. Remember the drip feed you. How are we going to control people? We're going to send them to work, college, universities, institutionalize them within their mind. How are you going to get out of that social demographic bracket? You're going to seek wisdom and show yourself approved. Because that was that fire garden igniting that passion within inside of you. Now that fire sign is igniting that passion inside of them, because you had that willpower, that strength. They move with their actual energy, their ego. They was too controlling, stubborn, idealistic. They didn't listen to that spirit within like that you did. You got the whole world in your hand. You got the whole world in your hand. You listen to the divine, had that fire passion. Now all of a sudden, they're transforming, changing, gaining that clarity, higher wisdom, just as you did. They can see you're that sun. Judgment's taking place. Because open up your heart, Sky Father, trust in the unknown. Open up your heart to you, that higher, 27, 3. Your heart, your mind, your body and your soul, connect. Get that high clarity, transform, evolve. Because that's you, I can and I love. That's that ego, see from that higher perspective, the truth. Things ain't going how things good. Now the divine feminine and masculines all on you. It ain't all good for the karmic. That's the truth. Things ain't going like things should, because I'm in stress. And you're cleansing your energy, protecting yourself, steadfast, organized, releasing and compassing emotions. That's when you have to connect to that thought and think, use your intuitions, connect to your heart, that mind, body, and that soul. And that's that willpower, because you're looking at those experiences that influence you. And then things was difficult, that loss, that feeling. You're releasing it, getting that oneness, because that's that, ooh, it's that wonder, because now they're like, ooh, I'll come and I want to wonder, I want to Stevie Wonder on you, because that's looking and that love and reflection. Because that's looking at that air guardian, it's shift in perspection. They're trying to be able to shift that reality, and people are trying to block them because of their mindset. And that's following that voice. They was not following the voice. Now they want to listen to the voice. All of a sudden, they may be still spiritually blocked, because stand your ground. You be standing your ground. And that's standing your power. You're following your voice. Now they're scaling this shift in perspection, because that's the truth. Their mindset, what they was valuing, money. Now they have to look back to what they was possessing. And now controlling this legacy. And you're possessing your legacy, standing in your truth, being in your power. Growing towards your 10. Why? Because it said fruits and actions and impact rather than the word or internal perceptions, your spiritual reward. And that's purification. That's that new beginnings, birth. And that's birch, forest, fresh start. That getaway, a spiritual world, protection, futility, linked to Celtic. And that's that sacred interconnectedness of all life. Interconnectedness of all life. That wheel of fortune. That's everyday deep respect for you. because their natural world, they're looking to be able to integrate that spiritual with the physical now, and cycles integrate spiritual with physical. And that's that importance to be able to come and communicate about the paradigms now that's entered their cycles of that divine, that unity to come towards you. All of a sudden, that's gaining influence, spying and gathering information on you. They could be gathering information, spying, gathering information on you. Are you balanced? Are you secure? Are you speaking and standing in your truth? Are you grounded, connected? And that's that agent, an undercover agent, a criminal, even organization, or even a journalist that's infiltrating the news, the groups, to others, even a story. It's guarded political slows, stubble, spread of something into space, or even systems, new ideas, even undermined a community of faith. Those ones who say that they are the ones in that church and got that church role, and think that they're knowing that each role that you're having in that church, whether you're a pastor or a pastor or whichever strata you want to be able to come up with disasters. Remember, in that book of Lamb, there's no role. You got every role. You got a God of love, God of joy, God of peace. You embody every energy. That's that omnipresence, multifaceted degree, because they was trying to slow you. They didn't have that discernment that was in that community. You just read. You look beyond those divine feminines and masculines, family members as well as friends. They need to look beyond the appearance of Georges and Judases by you, because you see those fruits and actions of others. Now I realize I juggled trouble, the wrong one. So yeah, they realize now they juggled trouble. They had the wrong one. Hebrews 6, because they didn't realize that you was that true Israelite, because of choices. You was that true divine one, balanced. Now they're having stress in their head because they're looking back to the community. They can see the way you was speaking that intellect. They can see family members and friends. You was caring, nurturing, providing, supporting, assisting, enabling, had compassion, empowered these divine feminines and masculines, because that was severe warning against apostasy, and that was that complete rejection of you. After experiencing your divine favor, it was a lesson, and that Holy Spirit, they be reminiscing now, and that's renouncing their faith, that's crucifying you, trying to put you down, binding you to that so-called cross. They didn't want to be able to awaken like you was. They wanted to try to punish you, making repentance impossible for them. That fine and that willful, and it's that sin. And now they're looking, they're forfeited that loss, or even deprived their self from you. Now they're realizing I juggled the wrong one. All of a sudden they're realizing they juggled the wrong one, because it's dying wish. Don't tell him I told you. It's dying, lying. So certain people could have been unalived, lying. Make sure you got EpiPen, no nuts. So make sure you got an EpiPen, no nuts when you're out socialising, partying with these people, because they're going to be lying, getting unalived. You'll be seeing about this marriage. They may want to come and tell you about this marriage. Ooh. It says respect. They're now gaining that respect for you, respecting the relationship. They can see those confusions when they was having these extra energies with people in their community, spelling money, spell work, blocking them, who they was working with, providing them money, providing a service towards them. And they're seeing, asking the truth because of these experience now. They had these confusions and illusions. Now they're connecting. Oh my gosh, they can see you as that yin yang. They're honouring you because that was that twin flame. It is an important number for the twin flames. It symbolises harmony and balance of the souls. They can see that yin symbol for the twin flames. They need to let go. You could have let them go. Now they're in their mind because they could be letting go of that fulfillment. They could see you how they let you go of that fulfillment, or because of these illusions that they had around them. Oops, maybe one. And they can see they may manifest in you now, because that's that mixed intentions with care. Craft your desires into reality. So they're manifesting you now. They could be looking for that abundance, guidance. They're gaining this balance. Take this all as it resonates. Because it's that fruits in action. They're coming. Let me get these. HO, I just found this on the floor. It says, when I wanted to learn swim, Dad dashed me in instead. So their dad, when they wanted to learn swim, the dad dashed them in instead to make them gain balance, structure. That was to gain back their power. They could have been being stubborn. When I'd ask how you make me see, now you know. So I make you see jump in that deep end. Like, oh yeah, you did. H-O could be significant. H-ho-ho. Santa Claus. That was that awakening. Fuse. Fuse. H-F. The Holy Father made them know. 4. Those foes made them know. That was awakening, enlightenment, introspection, when people speaking and lying, weren't having compassion and love, moving all for lust, greed and whatever. Let's see if these all fit. A. UFO. So you got HOOUZAWBC. A cop, cap. A group. Could have been a cultist group. Could be saying it's not my fault. Pulp fiction, Paul, Pug, Booth. They may be looking to come back with that all. R's in my hand. HFCGUOOAP BWZ. Take this all as it resonates. First name, last name, second name. Put it where you need to put it.